But good morning to you. And once we kind of get settled here, we can go ahead and good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, my friends. God's blessings upon you. Let's praise the Lord together, my friends. We have all awakened in God's shelter. Now we've come to praise His name together. Good morning,
Good morning.
good morning,
Good morning.
good morning,
Good morning. Good
my
morning.
friend.
My friends.
Sing Hosanna,
Hosanna.
Hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
Allahu
Alapa
Akbar,
Yaba.
Alapa.
Lapa.
In the sanctuary of our Lord's protection and the stronghold of our Lord's defense. With His love, our spirits are illumined as we glorify His name. Our hearts are blessed. Good morning,
Good morning.
good morning,
Good morning.
good morning,
Good morning.
my
Good
friend.
morning. My friend.
Good morning,
Good morning.
good morning,
Good morning.
good morning,
Good morning.
my
friends.
friend. Good morning, good morning. You know what? I totally forgot. One of the issues that I have is the fact that there are like 50 different volume buttons. And I have one right here, that I could have turned down a little bit. That's better. Yeah. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone out there in Facebook land. We're glad to see all of you. And everyone in our Zoom stream. We got Vicky and Andy is with us, and Garth. I don't know that we've ever seen. Have you ever seen? Do you remember Garth joining us before?
I don't remember.
I do
that
not remember
before.
Garth joining us. So good morning, Garth. We're glad you could join us in Hushong, good old Hushong, and Adam and Sharonay. And Garth says hello and thank you. And Gilbert is with us. And unfortunately, Camby's can't join us. He's having some health issues right now. So keep
Yes.
him in your prayers. Please do that. And Farah as well, Camby's his wife. So yeah, and Samantha just joined us. So good morning, Samantha. Now, as you know, boy, I feel like I'm really, really loud.
No, you're not.
We cannot agree on sound. I feel like I should be whispering. Anyway, as you know, we have been reading the book Toward Oneness. Toward Oneness. Let me hold this up to the Facebook camera for those of you. So there you go. Yeah, two different covers, but the same book. Same book, yes. And we've been dealing with some questions regarding, I mean, that's all about it. This book is all about, okay, why is oneness, the oneness of humanity, so important? And is it even a possibility? And how do we get there? And what are some of the obstacles that we are that we have to deal with? And so we dealt with a few questions. We're still in chapter 1. We're at the end of chapter 1, and we've dealt with a few questions. Chapter 1 being general principles, and some of those questions are: what is the pivotal principle of the Baha'i faith? What is the ultimate goal of the social development of humanity? Do we need to remedy the other ills of society before we can achieve unity? Does unity mean we will all become alike or uniform in the way we do things? The answer is no. What will happen if we don't achieve unity? And last week, what we ended with is it possible to have unity and maintain diversity? And the answer is, not only is it possible, it's absolutely necessary. And guess who just joined us?
Who just joined us?
Artisher.
Oh, good morning,
Artisher. Hey
Artisher.
there, Artisher. How you doing? I'm glad you could join us this morning. Good morning. Haven't seen Artisher in a while. Is this your first time joining us here?
No, I have this thing in here.
Okay.
It's sassy. It has a program.
Okay.
I can't really do all of them because I have to this community. So
Okay.
it didn't have just me and you. You're going to come.
Okay, we're getting about half of what you're saying, but we're glad you're here. We're
Thank
glad
you.
you're here. So thanks for joining us, and we hope we see you again.
We still have that persistent echo problem.
Oh, from Artisher?
Yes, from everybody except you and Daryl.
So
Okay.
maybe I can mute myself. Okay.
Yes, please.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait a minute. You know what we didn't do? We didn't say a prayer.
Absolutely.
We have to say a prayer. I know we're running behind, but we have to say a prayer.
Please say an anti-echo prayer.
An anti-echo prayer. Okay. Maybe we should have a prayer for the remover of difficulties. Make firm our steps, O Lord, in thy path, and strengthen thou our hearts in thine obedience. Turn our faces toward the beauty of thy oneness, and gladden our bosoms with the signs of thy divine unity. Adorn our bodies with the robe of thy bounty, and remove from our eyes the veil of sinfulness, and give us the chalice of thy grace, that the essence of all beings may sing thy praise before the vision of thy grandeur. Reveal then thyself, O Lord, by thy merciful utterance, and the mystery of thy divine being, that the holy ecstasy of prayer may fill our souls, a prayer that shall rise above words and letters and transcend the murmur of syllables and sounds, that all things may be merged into nothingness before the revelation of thy splendor. Lord, these are servants that have remained fast and firm in thy covenant and thy testament, that have held fast unto the cord of constancy in thy cause, and clung unto the hem of the robe of thy grandeur. Assist them, O Lord, with thy grace. Confirm with thy power, and strengthen their loins in obedience to thee. Thou art the pardoner, the gracious. And this is a prayer by Abdul Baha. And now that we've got that done,
All right.
Daryl.
The next question that we have is, do we also need justice as well as unity? A financier with colossal wealth should not exist whilst near him is a poor man in dire necessity.
Daryl,
I'm going to repeat that
yeah,
sentence
we
again.
might not, but what we're starting out here with, folks, is the end of this first chapter. It's about a page and a fifth of a page. And, oh boy, I'm hoping that I don't I'm going to pipe down. I'm going to, because it's tough. There's so much in this one page that is just so important and so profound in when we hold it up against the backdrop of the world that we're living in right now.
A financier with colossal wealth should not exist, whilst near him is a poor man in dire necessity. When we see poverty allowed to reach a condition of starvation, it is a sure sign that somewhere we shall find tyranny. Men must bestir themselves in this matter and no longer delay in altering conditions which bring the misery of grinding poverty to a very large number of the people. The rich must give of their abundance. They must soften their hearts and cultivate a compassionate intelligence, taking thought for those sad ones who are suffering from lack of the very necessities of life.
Okay, Daryl, I'm over here doing something, but please read that again.
The rich
Please,
must
please,
give
please.
of their abundance. They must soften their hearts and cultivate a compassionate intelligence, taking thought for those sad ones who are suffering from lack of the very necessities of life. That's saying there should be no, in this, the richest of all countries, there should be no poverty. There should be no one who is starving and no one who is devoid of the necessities of life.
And you know what? There's a phrase there, 2 words. Oh boy, what is it? Compassionate intelligence.
Compassionate intelligence.
They must soften their hearts and cultivate a compassionate intelligence. Wow. Okay.
There must be special laws made dealing with these extremes of riches and of want. The members of the government should consider the laws of God when they are framing plans for the ruling of the people. The members of the government should consider the laws of God when they are framing plans for the ruling of the people. The general rights of mankind must be guarded and preserved. The government of the countries should conform to the divine law, which gives equal justice to all. This is the only way in which the deplorable superfluity of great wealth and miserable, demoralizing, degrading poverty can be abolished. Not until this is done will the law of God be obeyed.
I'm going to stop you right there, Daryl, because I don't know about anyone else, but I had to look up superfluity. I can't even remember. Was it superfluity or superfluity? I don't know.
Superfluity.
Superfluity.
It's unnecessary.
Excess. Yeah, exactly.
Excessive,
Excess.
yes.
So you didn't have to look it up, huh?
I kind of knew it.
Daryl has
For
a
something
better
to
quote.
be superfluous is to be excess. Okay.
Okay,
Shall
Daryl, okay. Yuta is joining us. Good morning, Yuta.
Good morning, Utah.
Okay, but yeah. Oh man.
This one paragraph could start a conversation that could last for weeks at a time, I believe, because those people in the society who have spent their lives acquiring things and acquiring wealth would look at someone who is poor and say, well, they have the opportunity maybe to do the exact same things that I did, and why should I have to give up what I've worked and strived to get to help someone who hasn't put forth the effort, maybe, or maybe that's how they feel. But that's not what this is about.
Exactly.
That's not what this is about. This is about seeing your fellow man and seeing him in need and not even lifting a finger to help him out, or not even, sometimes they just need a step up, not a handout. They just need a step up. So.
And I'll tell you something else. I'm trying to get set up here because I forgot to do something earlier. So folks, excuse that little distraction that I'm messing with things here. But that little sentence in that last paragraph, the government of the countries should conform to the divine law, which gives equal justice to all.
Equal justice to all. Absolutely.
My head is almost exploding reading that against, obviously against the backdrop of what's going on in this nation and other nations. It's not limited to the U.S.
Not just
but,
the U.S. Yeah.
Yes, but conforming to the divine law, which gives equal justice to all.
Yes.
Ah, boy. This is one thing I love about the writings, is I'm not saying that this is not in other revelations. I'm not saying this has not been said in previous spiritual writings or previous, spiritual books. But it is so clear and so undeniably stated when you read this. There's no way anyone can read this and say, well, they can say they don't like it, but how can they say, well, that doesn't make sense? It makes perfect sense. And it's so clearly stated by Abdu'l-Baha.
Okay. Oh, friends of God, be living examples of justice. I'm going to say that again. Oh, friends of God, be living examples of justice, so that the mercy of God, the world may see in your actions that you manifest the attributes of justice and mercy. Justice is not limited. It is a universal quality. Its operation must be carried out in all classes, from the highest to the lowest. Justice must be sacred, and the rights of all the people must be considered. Desire for others only that which you desire for yourselves. That's the golden rule.
Exactly.
The desire for others only that which you desire for yourselves. Then shall we rejoice in the Son of Justice, which shines from the horizon of God. Each man has been placed in a post of honor, which he must not desert. A humble workman who commits an injustice is as much to blame as a renowned tyrant. Thus, we all have our choice between justice and injustice. Thus, we all have our choice between justice and injustice. I hope that each one of you will become just and direct your thoughts towards the unity of mankind, that you will never harm your neighbors nor speak ill of anyone, that you will respect the rights of all men and be more concerned for the interests of others than for your own. Thus will you become torches of divine justice, acting in accordance with the teaching of Baha'u'llah, who, during his life, bore innumerable trials and persecutions in order to show forth to the world of mankind the virtues of the world of divinity, making it possible for you to realize the supremacy of the Spirit and to rejoice in the justice of God. Man, so much there. So much in just that paragraph.
Obviously, we don't want to be excessively redundant, although I don't have a problem with being excessively. I think there's sometimes some good in being excessively redundant. But these chosen passages, and this is all from what Darrell has just read, all comes from two talks by Abdu'l-Baha and what are known as his Paris talks.
Yes.
And, oh my goodness, I don't know, I feel this, I become emotional reading this because, I think the world does something to people that kills, for most of us, their instinct, for many of us, I should say, their instinct for justice. We know that justice is important. I think it's supposed to be a part of the human heart, and yet, for many, I don't know what happens. Greed, ignorance, selfishness, hate.
All of the above.
Gentlemen, I would like to submit something.
Please.
All the things that you said are true. But unfortunately, there is a gigantic elephant in the room that has not been addressed.
Say that last thing,
A gigantic elephant in the room, which
Oh,
That has not been addressed. And that is that people are often punished for showing justice and rewarded for showing injustice.
thank you for sharing that.
Interesting.
That is so
Yes.
true. Yes, so true. Absolutely.
So let's.
I guess it's time.
Yeah.
So you don't want me to use the trio on this?
No, you do whatever you want. I think you should use it.
You think so?
Yeah,
So you were just joking?
I was joking.
I thought you. Now I had to turn everything back up. Hang on, folks. We're trying something here. This is a track that Daryl is going to be playing to, and I'm going to be singing to, a pre-recorded track. So I don't know how this is going to go. Let's see. Oh, Son of Spirit. Oh, Son of Spirit. Oh, Son of Spirit. The best beloved of all things in my sight is justice. This is a hidden word. Justice. The best beloved of all things in my sight is justice. Justice. Turn not away there from him, thou desirest me, and neglect it not, that I may confide in thee. By its aid thou shalt see with thine own eyes, words of Baha'u'llah, and not through the eyes of another. O Son of Spirit, O Son of Spirit, O Son of Spirit. Thou shalt know of thine own knowledge, and not through the knowledge of thy neighbor. Ponder it in thine heart, how it behooveth thee to be. Verily justice is my gift to thee, and a sign of my loving kindness. Set it then before thine eyes, before thine eyes, before thine eyes, O Son of Spirit. O Son of Spirit. The best beloved of all things in my sight is justice. is justice. O Son of Spirit, O Son of Spirit, justice, 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 justice.
All right.
I think it went okay. I don't know.
I think so.
It did indeed.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe we'll try doing more of those types of things where we kind of fatten up the sound and so forth. So, I had my book upside down. So, okay, 10:30. So yeah, we still have some time to get started on chapter 2. Okay, and chapter 2, for anyone who doesn't have this book, principles regarding race and culture. Is that Dawn Chisholm's name I see? Good morning, Dawn. How are you? Principles regarding race and culture. Daryl,
Yes.
you want me to read?
Yes, please.
I'm always kind of expecting that, but I never know. You're just full of surprises. Here's the first question in this chapter. How does the Baha'i faith view the concept and significance of race? I got 50 things going through my head right now, all of which I will not say, given
Okay.
today's climate. How does the Baha'i faith view the concept and significance of race? Well, here's something from Abdul-Baha. All humanity are the children of God.
Stop. Say that again.
All humanity are the children of God.
Okay.
They belong to the same family, to the same original race. Actually, there's a period there. They belong to the same family, to the same original race. There can be no multiplicity of races since all are descendants of Adam. This signifies that racial assumption and distinction are nothing but superstition. Racial assumption and distinction are nothing but superstition. In the estimate of God, there are no English, French, Germans, Turkish, or Persians. All these, in the presence of God, are equal. They are of one race and creation. They are of one race and creation. God did not make these divisions. These distinctions have had their origin in man himself.
Wait, say that again?
God did not make these distinctions. These distinctions, God did not make these divisions. These distinctions have had their origin in man himself.
Yeah, so I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You mean that you didn't choose who you were before you got here?
Well, actually, no.
You didn't choose who you were?
No, it's not like they had a whole bunch of tables out and, with, okay, one category, another category. What do you want to be when you're born? No, didn't make that choice.
Oh, okay.
Didn't make that choice.
So that means some higher power must have made that choice.
Apparently. In fact, there's another writing where Abdul-Baha says, who you are born to be, he called it just a cosmic accident. It's, it's
There you go.
made it sound like it was kind of random. I don't know, but that's my interpretation of that phrase, cosmic accident.
All right.
These distinctions have had their origin in man himself. Therefore, as they are against the plan and purpose of reality, they are false and imaginary. We are of one physical race, even as we are of one physical plan of material body, each endowed with 2 eyes, 2 ears, 1 head, 2 feet. And that is actually, that is coming from Abdul-Baha, the promulgation of universal peace. To move on, also Abdul-Baha. Indeed, The world of humanity is like one kindred and one family. Because of the climactic differences of the zones, through the passing of ages, colors have become different. And that's pretty common knowledge now, even though everybody doesn't buy into it, but that's pretty common knowledge now. But at that time, this was cutting edge. Through the passing of ages, colors have become different. In the torrid zone, on account of the intensity of the effect of the sun throughout the ages, the black race appeared. In the frigid zone, on account of the severity of the cold and the ineffectiveness of the heat of the sun throughout the ages, the white race appeared. In the temperate zone, the yellow, brown, and red races came into existence. But in reality, mankind is one race. This is scripture, man, and it's so clearly stated.
Absolutely.
Mankind is one race because it is of one race unquestionably. There must be unity and harmony and no separation or discord. Also from Abdul Baha. God the Almighty has created all mankind from the dust of the earth. He has fashioned them all from the same elements. They are descended from the same race and live upon the globe. He has created them to dwell beneath the one heaven. As members of the human family and his children, he has endowed them with equal susceptibilities. He maintains, protects, and is kind to all. He has made no distinction in mercies and graces among his children. In other words, there is no one group, since it's all, we know it's one race, but
Absolutely.
there is no one group that is supreme to the other, that is superior to the other. I use supreme in this day and time because it's kind of a, it's a common term that
That's
today
true.
is being used frequently. So we are going to stop there for now. I see someone else's name that popped up. Brenda's with us. Good morning, Brenda. And the other names I can't see. Desmond is joining us. Good morning, Desmond. And Daryl, you're putting your book down, so I guess that means that it is time for us to move forward into our next portion. And as you know, unfortunately, Camby's can't join us today, so I again want to remind you, please keep him in your prayers. But we're hoping, so we can't have our Camby's moment. We're hoping maybe we can have our Andy Murphy moment. Andy, do you have something you can share with us today? And by the way, anyone else who would like to share a prayer or a reading or a song of your choosing, this is that time. So Andy, he's grabbing his guitar. He's grabbing his axe.
Due to the possibility that there is some echo, take that back. Due to the certainty, because I can hear an echo of my own voice, I'll do this prayer, which I think will be okay if it does echo. Ya Baha'u'llah, Ya Aliyullah, Ya Baha'u'llah, Ya Aliyullah, Ya Baha'u'llah, Ya Aliyullah.
So there's plenty of technical difficulties all around right now. We're having problems on our Facebook feed, and now we're just kind of coincidentally muted at the same time. But is there anyone else who would like to share?
No? Okay.
Well then, we'll go ahead and reset this. This is, oh man, when Nini's not here, I have never seen this pop up before. You all can't see in the Zoom, you can't see what's going on our Facebook camera, but there's something going on here, and it's all kind of strange, but we're still going to move on. Okay.
So since we don't have anyone else that would like to share this, I want to move on to the next section of the book.
Oh, okay, great.
Okay, it's a kind of a small section, and it won't take us long to get through it. So, God the Almighty has created all mankind from the dust of the earth. He has fashioned them all from the same elements. They are descended from the same race and live upon the same globe. He has created them to dwell beneath one heaven. As members of the human family and his children, he has endowed them with equal susceptibilities. He maintains, protects, and is kind to all. He has made no distinction in mercies and graces among his children. We just went over that. Does race have any significance? Gracious God, the animal notwithstanding that it is a captive of nature, and nature completely dominateth it, attaches no importance to color. The animal attaches no importance to color. For instance, thou dost behold the black and white, yellow, blue, and other colored pigeons are in utmost harmony with one another. They never give importance to color. Likewise, sheep and the beast, despite differences in color, are in utmost love and unity. It is strange that man hath made color a means of strife. It is strange that man hath made color a means of strife. Between the white and the black there is the utmost estrangement and discord. When we enter a rose garden, we behold how beautiful it is, a display of variegated flowers. The difference of color is the adornment of the rose gardens. The difference of color is the adornment of the rose garden. Were it of one color, it would not have such splendor. So,
You're going to stop there?
I'm going to stop there.
But I want to discuss it. Okay,
No,
I'm just going to say,
we can discuss that.
I'm going to
because
say
it's
the
important.
first line of the next paragraph. I'm not going to read the whole paragraph, but I'm going to just say the first line of the next paragraph. Baha'u'llah has proclaimed the oneness of the world of humanity. I'm going to leave it right there.
One.
We'll just put this there. Baha'u'llah has proclaimed the oneness of the world of humanity. And if you feel like going out and telling other people just that sentence, you can remember that and tell other people, Baha'u'llah has proclaimed the oneness of the world of humanity. Now, they may look at you a little crazy if they don't know who Baha'u'llah is, but it has been proclaimed we are one. Not that it wasn't true before, but now it has been acknowledged, spiritually, divinely acknowledged. Baha'u'llah has proclaimed the oneness of the world of humanity.
Excellent.
Of course, I like the line of that last paragraph you read. The animal, Abdu'l-Baha says, gracious God, the animal, notwithstanding that it is a captive of nature and nature completely dominateth it, the animal attacheth no importance to color. For instance, thou dost behold that the black, white, yellow, blue, and other colored pigeons are in utmost harmony with one another. I'd like to think we're a little more advanced than pigeons.
You think?
I just like to think that. I would love to believe that. But there are some people that, golly. In other words, I was going to say, so if you called someone, which you should not do, if you, in relation to what we just read, if you called someone a pigeon, it would be an insult to pigeons. It would be an insult to pigeons. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and because there are some other things we always need to point out. We like to point out that this, of course, is a joint community effort, multiple communities coming together to make this happen.
We
about
primarily
pigeons.
come to you through the auspices
Thank you.
of the Clearwater Bahá'í Center and the Clearwater Baha'is. And we'd like for you to know that if you have an interest in the Baha'i faith or need more information, there are some definitive websites that you can go to get more information and to kind of educate yourself on the faith. Those websites are www.baha'i.us, www.baha'i.org, www.bahaiteachings.org, and if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay area, you can always go to the Clearwater Bahá'í website. That is at www.clearwaterbaha'is.org.
So there you go. And if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay area, you could just go to the Clearwater Center.
You could go to the
You don't have
Clearwater
to be in the
Bahá'í
Tampa Bay
Center.
area to go to the website, but yes, it'd be great if some of you were in the area and you know, obviously we're not there all the time, but we do have various programs there and so forth, and so I think maybe it's nice to kind of put a little invitation out there. But yeah, I see. There's this thing in me that wants to read some more.
Of course.
But we're not going to. We're not going.
We're not going to.
Okay. And I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming. We've got some folks that are joining us even now. And because of the way things are scrolling, I don't know how this is going to turn out, because we always post this on Facebook, and there are some people that see this after we've actually done this devotion. And so for the folks in Facebook, if things look crazy, like, you know, turned over or whatever, my apologies. We had some difficulties, and I just kind of threw something together real quick. I don't know if it actually solved the problem or not. It looks like it may have created a different problem. But
So I also wanted to say that at the end of our program each week, there are other things that go on at the Clearwater Bahá'í Center. There is for lack of a better term, what we call an adult class, and it covers subjects that are relative to how we can actually take the Baha'i writings and practicalize them in our own lives. And there are many speakers, but primarily the session, as I know it, is headed up by Gilbert Hakim, and we appreciate the fact that Gilbert is always there for that. So,
and I think it's also important that we point out that those programs and this are also posted on the Clearwater Bahá'í website. So
right.
you can go there, and so for folks on Facebook, you can find this on, you know, it's always my assumption, at least, that some people that run across this on my Facebook page, you know, it was just kind of, you know, serendipitous. It was just kind of, you know, kind of coincidental. But you can also find them. They post them on the clearwaterbaha'is.org website. So you can go and see older ones and so forth, and see all the other programs that Daryl just mentioned. Yes.
and before we go, I have to tell you that I believe that if you are loved, you are blessed. If you share your love, the world around you is blessed. So the one thing that you can do to improve the conditions of the entire world around you and to improve your world, it's not going to cost you anything. It's free. And it's the only thing that you have to do is just share your love. Thank you for joining us.
And have a good week, folks.
Yeah.
O people of justice, be as brilliant as the light, and as splendid as the fire that blazed in the burning bush. The brightness of the fire of your love will no doubt fuse and unify the contending peoples and kindreds of the earth, whilst the fierceness of the flame of enmity and hatred cannot but result in strife and ruin. We beseech God that he may shield his creatures from the evil designs of his enemies. He verily hath power over all things. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Oh, oh. Be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Watch over yourselves, for the evil one is lying in wait, ready to entrap you. Gird yourselves against his wicked devices, and led by the light of the name of the all-seeing God, make your escape from the darkness that surroundeth you. Let your vision be world-embracing, rather than confined to your own self. These are the words of Baha'u'llah. Be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Oh, oh. Have a good week, folks.
Take care, friends.